Assalamu alaikum everybody. So this is question number 3 of May-June 2024, paper 2, variant 1. Also, this basically is part of section B. From section B, we have a choice of doing 3 questions from 4 questions. So this was basically question number 3. The question here says Indonesia operates a mixed economic system. Indonesia's central bank, Bank Indonesia, aim for stable prices. The country's price level can be influenced by changes in population size. Indonesia's population continues to grow, but at a slower rate. Many of the country's industries are growing, with particularly fast growth in Indonesian domestic and international air travel. Then they're saying part A, identify who allocates resources in a mixed economic system. So in a mixed economic system, there is government and then there is also private private sector organizations. So resources are allocated by both the public sector, that is the government, also by the private individuals, that is in the private sector. So we'll write here government allocates resources, and government and private individuals, both of them allocate resources. And since they've written identify here, so you guys just have to write 2 points here. 2 points will give you 2 marks. The next part says part B says explain 2 benefits a firm may gain from an increase in the size of country's population. So if the size of the country's population increases, what are the benefits a firm can gain? So it is important to note, we need to talk about the benefits that any firm would gain if the size of the country's population increases. Number one is that there will be more people now. So if the population increases, the number of consumers that you have in the market increases because of that. So more goods and services can be sold. Also, that means more revenue. More revenue means that there will be higher profitability. That is the explanation. So you guys need to develop on your point. So the point is that there will be more consumers, so there will be a huge consumer market. So what happens is that if there is a huge consumer market, you have potential to sell more goods and services, which means that more revenue can be generated. More revenue also may mean higher profitability, because if you sell to more people, you can end up making more profits. The second point here would be higher supply of labor. There will be more workers to choose from because there will be a lot of people in the population. So this the workers. So higher population means that there can be more working population also, because population increases by three ways. Number one is increase in birth rate, number two is decrease in death rate, and number three is inward migration. So population increases because of inward migration, and a lot of times if workers from other countries come to our country for work, that means we have more supply of labor, which means we have more workers to choose from. Firms have more workers to choose from. That means it is easier now you have a lot of choice in terms of workers. Also, when there are a lot of workers, there's high supply of labor, the wages that you need to pay to the labor would be a lower amount. That means again you can go down on your cost of production. That is what the main benefit is. Also, that means if your cost of production goes down, that means your profitability will also increase. So that's for part B. Part C says analyze reasons why governments aim for stable prices. So the government's aim for stable prices is a macroeconomic objective. So macroeconomic objective, it is a macroeconomic objective. Also, the government's aim for stable prices means that there should be low and stable rate of inflation. So that means prices should not rise very much, and they should not rise by a very big amount. They should rise by a small amount. Low and stable rate of inflation. So why would a government aim for low and stable rate of inflation? Number one is stable prices means that exports can be more competitive. So if the prices are stable and if they are low and stable, that means in the international market, our exports are now they are not very expensive for other people to buy. So that means our exports are more competitive as compared to other countries because our country does not have inflation. Also, because of that, when we are exporting more goods and services, obviously we'll make, if we are exporting more goods, that means we'll produce more goods. That means our GDP will increase because of high number of exports. Also, revenue will increase because obviously because we are exporting more goods and services. Also, one more thing, so exporters' revenue will increase. Also, balance of payments will become more stable because of this. Because when you export more and you import less, that means your balance of payments will be a favorable balance of payments. The next thing here can be stable prices means that the purchasing power stays intact. Their real incomes will not fall. The real incomes will um, technically stay the same. It's like I give this example to my students. For example, my pocket money 8 years back. Let's say when I was in school, my parents gave me some very small amount to spend in school for the break time. So let's say I used to spend when I was in grade 7 or grade 8, 20 rupees were more than enough. So, but now, so 20 rupees of that time can buy more goods as compared to 20 rupees of today. So that means in reality, when if my parents still give me 20 rupees if I'm going to school, so I would say to my parents that this is not fair. So that basically means my real income has not increased, it has fallen. But if the prices are not rising, my real income will not fall. It will stay the same. My purchasing power will also stay intact. My real income will not fall. Gives consumers more confidence to buy goods and services, obviously, because if their purchasing power does not, it stays intact, it does not fall. Also, interesting thing, whenever there's inflation, right? So savers lose and borrowers gain. So savers means that people who have lent money to other people or people who have saved in a bank, they will lose if the prices rise. So there will be random distribution of income, means that, for example, in the bank I have saved money in the bank, right? So if prices rise, whenever I get my money back, my money will lose its value, because when I save the money with the bank, that amount of money could purchase more goods and services. But when I withdrew it, when I got my savings back at time of maturity, so now they cannot buy as many goods and services. So that means savers basically lose, and whoever is borrowing, of course, they are gaining in this case, because when they borrowed money, at that time, that amount of money could buy more goods and services as compared to when they are returning. So that can be one point. Also, inflation causes menu costs. So why would the government aim for stable prices? Because they want certainty in the economy. Menu cost simply means that if prices rise very rapidly, right? So you need to again and again change the price labels, change menus, change that actually has a cost associated to it, because if you need to change the price label again and again, that's a lot of hassle. So cost of changing price labels, etc. If prices are stable, it is easier for firms to plan ahead. That is very important. There will be more certainty. Hence, firms will be encouraged to invest, obviously, because there is more certainty. There can be more planning. The planning can be more accurate. Whatever you're planning actually um, holds true in future. So that is very important. That creates certainty, and inflation basically causes uncertainty. So yes, part C is simply that. Okay, part D here says discuss whether or not the global economy would benefit from an increase in air travel. So what is the global economy? The globe is the world. So all economies in the world, would they benefit from an increase in air travel? Means a lot of people are traveling by air from one country to another. Would this be a benefit to the global economy, or would this be not a benefit to the global economy? So benefits would be that demand for air travel means there is related industries. So if demand for air travel is increasing, that means the demand for tourism is increasing. So all the related industries related to tourism, so hotels, demand for hotels is increasing, demand for restaurants is increasing. All tourism related industries will benefit from this because demand for air travel is increasing. Also, demand for air travel will increase the demand for workers in air travel industry, which means employment will increase, employment will rise. Also, for some countries, if they are benefiting from tourism, so that will also lead to a positive balance of payment. So, for example, if I am going to the USA, right? So if I travel to the US, I'll be using their restaurants, I'll be using their hotels, I'll be using their services basically. So that is a positive on their balance of payments. So that means their balance of payments will improve because of lots of people traveling to the US and availing their services. Also reduces the cost of production of producers. Air travel is quicker, reduces the cost of transporting goods. Sometimes, when we are transporting goods, we are using sea travel. But if sea travel takes a lot of days, so the shipment is expensive for producers. Also, if a lot of air travel, there's a lot of demand for air travel, obviously there will be a lot of supply also. Um Demand, basically producers will respond to the demand of consumers, and air travel will be quicker, so it will be cheaper for firms to transport their goods. Okay, the no side of it. Unemployment will rise in the other kinds of travel like train travel and sea travel. So, yes, unemployment will rise in that because obviously, if there are more people who are traveling by air, they are not traveling by the substitutes, that is train travel or sea travel. Other forms of transport may suffer from loss due to the fall in demand, of course, because people are not traveling by train, people are not traveling by sea. That means the demand for sea travel and train travel is going down, so that means the revenue is going down and they may suffer from losses. Also, because of demand for increase in demand for airports, increase in demand for air travel, there will be no more air. They will need more airports. They will need more runways, which will reduce the land available for other important aspects like housing and or areas of natural beauty. So you need a lot of land in order to create airports and runways. So yes, that's it for the discuss type question. That's it for this question. Thank you so much for watching.